you are live, go read a book, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, take 1.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Moira.
And we read The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime
By Mark Haddon.
It was swell.
It was a good book.
It was.
I loved it. I think I texted you after I literally went home. I was like, I'm just gonna try it. And I loved it.
I was so pleasantly surprised.
Me too.
I thought it was just going to be like a kind of a straightforward mystery with a quirky kind of narrator. It ended up being like so much more than
incredible.
that.
It was so good. I don't know much about autism, or was it autism or is it Asperger's?
Well, here's the thing. Mark Haddon says that it was not intended. Here's what he said.
Okay, I was like, that seems like a very
No, I know. No, I think so too, but he said that he just like wrote this character, but he never called him any one thing.
Okay, gotcha.
So he just doesn't claim that he was trying to write like a protagonist who is autistic.
Like they do the same thing with Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Apparently he's supposed to have autism. I've never seen the show, so I'm just talking out of my ass right now. But like, I heard that he was supposed to have autism.
Yeah.
But
they don't
say that he has it. Yeah.
As the reader, we have to come to our own conclusions. Like he for sure is autistic on some level. I don't know, I just thought the book was going to be something completely different than it was.
Yeah,
I thought the whole book was going to be figuring out what happened to
Me
Wellington.
too. And that's like none of the book really.
Almost none of the book.
How about when you got to that, like the letters were from his mom? It was like almost like Gone Girl. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. What happened? I had no idea. Did you think she was alive?
It crossed my mind several times because his dad, like there was never an explanation. He kept talking about his mom. I'm like, okay, there's more to this story.
Really?
And I didn't know what it was.
Oh, I had no idea. I was completely like, but when he didn't go to the hospital and he didn't go to the funeral, I thought that was kind of weird.
Totally.
But he is a weird character, so I was like, maybe they were trying to shield him from his mother's death. I don't know. But so when I got these letters, I was like, oh my god.
Okay, real quick. How bad are his parents?
I don't know if his dad, I think his dad did his best.
I think they're just like so deeply flawed that like I found myself getting so angry so many times, like his mom abandoning him and his dad allowing his son to think she was dead. It's like, which is worse?
Now that you bring that up, yeah, that's pretty bad.
I don't
and you
know.
hear the letters from him and everything.
It's like if he actually wanted his son to not know, maybe that was just like his guilt, like he couldn't go that far.
Well, it was the same thing when he threw the book away.
Yeah.
And he kept the book.
Yeah.
You know, probably because he's a good person in the core of his being, you know?
That's what I was gonna touch on actually. Like I say, they're the worst parents, but then again, I think we're conditioned to think that parents who raise a child who has special needs are all like the most angelic people in the world. Especially after watching like Parenthood and, you know, Max in Parenthood.
Oh, I don't know. Does he have a problem?
Yep, he has Asperger's in the show. And his parents are just like incredible and they always like deal with him in the strongest way and they cry behind closed doors, they don't cry in front of him kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's good parenting. And then I read this book and I'm like, they suck so bad.
Yeah, the mom definitely sucked.
What was so great about Mr. Shears that she ran off with that jerk?
Ugh, I know, gross. Like he just sounds gross, doesn't he? And Mrs. Shears sounded gross too.
And then you find out that like the mom ran off with Mr. Shears, and I'm like, oh, he's not like 70?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't think a compassionate person would run off with, you know, like a neighbor and then like leave your wife and leave your new wife's new girlfriend's son who's severely autistic.
It doesn't explicitly say in the book that Christopher is autistic or has Asperger's or whatever the case is. That's just something that we have to come to our own conclusion about. You're just gonna drink while we, you're just gonna rattle your ice while we talk, Elliott? Okay. Like mid-sentence I hear, like right by the mic. That's on, right?
Oh yeah.
Praise the Lord. We talked in a few episodes ago about the name Siobhan.
Oh my gosh, what did I say, Siobhan?
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Which, that's a very, apparently, an Americanized pronunciation of that name. I listened to it on
Oh my
Audible.
gosh. Oh, okay, right. How do they say it?
Well, it's an Irish name by heritage, and he pronounces it Siobhan. And that's like an Irish name.
So it's not Siobhan. I'm so glad, because I was just calling her Siobhan. Because now I know how to pronounce it.
Right. And
now I guess I don't know how to pronounce it. I feel like I'm not a patient person, and I would probably see, like, when he was, like, on the train, and everyone would be like, oh my god, that guy's such a weirdo. And I would probably think that, and it made me stop and think that I should be nicer to people. It doesn't say that anyone was really considerate. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of the chapter where he almost gets hit by a train. There's only like 15 more pages or something left.
Yeah,
and I was like,
really
he's
close.
gonna get hit by a train and die, and that's how it's gonna end. And I started freaking out.
I was so confused by that part when I was listening to it at first too. I was like, wait, what is happening? And then finally it started clicking and I'm like, get off the track!
Did you see that article, and I don't know if it's real or not, but they were saying like an autistic man was on a helicopter and saw the skyline of New York City and then just drew it all by memory after being just on like one helicopter ride?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. I just see, you know how they have those like things on Facebook, they're like,
yeah,
you won't believe what happened to this man.
I bet I will believe it. I think
you
we're just
know?
using different parts of our brain almost is what it is.
Yes. In his little book life, I hope that he did become a scientist or a physicist, because his mind's like that change. Yeah, that changed the world.
In terms of genre, this book, I guess, is really just one of those slice of life kind of books.
That last paragraph of the book was so good.
Yeah,
where he's like, I can do anything because I did this, I did this, I did this. And like, oh my gosh, you can do anything.
Yeah. It's almost like I guess that would make it like a coming of age story in a way.
Yeah.
That transition from boyhood, I guess, into he's thinking about his future and where he's going to go to university.
Okay, again, Tiffany did audiobooks and I did the actual, like, you guys, you have to look at this. It's terrible. I don't know if the light is going to show you, but like how duct tape this book is.
It is.
Like, it is
horribly weathered.
It's horribly, yeah.
We should buy a new copy for the library.
For them, I know. I feel like I should, because people should read this book.
I was glad I heard about the book. I don't remember where I heard about it. It was in passing somewhere, but I saw somebody say like this is a must-read book, and I agree. I think it's a fantastic read.
I like Eleanor Park.
Right, I know.
And this book, like, you should definitely read this book.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Long story short, it's a really great book. I really loved it, and I thought it was great. It kind of gave me a sense of someone else's struggles.
Next book, we are reading Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
I picked it basically solely on this cover because I like that.
It is a super cool cover.
Yeah.
Check it out. It looks like a fun read. Maybe a little bit of some chick lit for a change.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it real soon.
And talk about this book. Let us know what you think about Christopher and how amazing he is, or not amazing, or annoying. Whatever you thought about him.
On the interwebs. That's how I type, like a piano. Next time. Why do I always do something weird at the end?